We say no to racist fear.
Muslims are welcome here.
Gay, straight, black, white.
Same struggle, same fight.
You distort, we decide.
No more racist lies. I think for most people, we do recognize that there's a right wing that's growing in this country. And I think people here are here because we have to just, unless there's a real genuine opposition that's public and confident, and is actually able to stand up to those lies, that they'll continue to increase and continue to grow confidence. And it's a very, very scary reality. When those ideas grow, is when hate crimes increase and when people die.
We called a rally in late August to support the Park 51 mosque, and that was with 3 days of organizing, and we got 300 people out. And then on 9/11, we were part of a much larger protest of 3,000 people to support to support the Park 51 community center. So one of the things that I wanted to draw attention to is what Sheepshead Bay, where there's a mosque that's also being protested by the Brooklyn Tea Party and a local group, a very small group, and they were able to bring out 300 people. And a bunch of the groups that have been, our coalition as well as some other groups came out in support of the project. And one of the quotes here on this fact sheet that we have is, it's a message that comes across a lot, but one guy, Dick Morris on the O'Reilly Factor, said, "These Sharia mosques have become command centers for terrorists." And I think one of the things that happened, one of the things that I realized that day, was reminded of, was that afterwards I was talking to this one kid, and he came up to me and he goes, I've been in many fights because of being called a terrorist. And he turned around, he started searching for his friends and be like, them too, And it makes you think, these kids are being called terrorists on their school bus, or in their schoolyards, or in their classes. It's not rocket science to realize that, if on TV, that these kids are the things that they're being exposed to is people saying that command centers, that mosques are command centers for terrorists. That's the bullshit that they have to deal with.
The past couple of months, there's been some very highly publicized cases of youth taking their lives due to homophobia and harassment. Hatred is not something natural. As a preschool teacher, these children have no hate for anything. They may be selfish at times, but they don't hate anybody because of the color of their skin or how they dress or how they look. It is taught. It's definitely taught. And I want to say it's not just about parents, it is partially, but it's also about the broader society we live in. The fact that in schools, people do not learn about LGBT people, about gay people, about lesbians, about transgender. You don't hear nothing about them in schools. So you're taught to fear and to hate, and the general society creates that. If people actually learn from a young age about the lives of gay people, this harassment and homophobia would not be happening in schools. So we need to hold the federal government responsible for that and say, if you really care, give full equality now. Not later, not in a wait, now. If you want to really save the lives of young people, grant equality and start funding and putting mandatory education about gay people in schools. That is what will actually stop the suicides and stop the violence.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, white.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Racism has got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Racism has got to go.
We say no to racist fear. Islamophobia's got to go.
I am big and racist too.
We say no to racist fear. Muslims are welcome here. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome to New York. Hey, fuck, what do you say?
Tea Party Nation, hell no. Black has got to go.
Tea Party, get off our streets. Off playground with tobacco sheets.
Fair and balance has to lie.
You don't care if people die.
Fair and balance has to lie.
You don't care if people die.
Racist, sexist, anti-gay.
Go away. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Fox News has got to go. Hey, Fox, what do you say? Hey, Fox, what do you say?